Hey everyone, Jamo here. This morning we got some really sad news. The original soundtrack, the Sonic 3 and Knuckles, will not be featured in the Sonic Origins collection releasing later this month. This is really unfortunate because many would argue that Sonic 3 and Knuckles has the best soundtrack in the entire series, or at least from the Genesis games. Now, me personally, yeah, this is really upsetting. I love that soundtrack, but it's not my favourite. However, I'm nonetheless still pretty miffed and a bit angry that they're not including the original soundtrack. I did some digging into this and read some more up on the article, and it seems to me like they wanted to include the original soundtrack, but whoever the composers were, whether it be Michael Jackson's estate, whoever owns the music, doesn't seem to want Sega to use it. Maybe it was too much money, maybe they just weren't negotiable. Whatever, we don't really know, and I don't think we'll ever know the exact details behind all this music jargon. And the point is, we're not getting the soundtrack, but we're getting something to replace it. Now, the soundtrack that they're going to be working on seems to be, from what they've said anyway, in fact, I'll bring up the exact quote they said. "We can't use all the original sounds from Sonic 3 and Knuckles. Jun Senoi has been working really hard to adapt the original music that was composed in 1993 for Origins." I read this as them not adapting the game's music that was actually on the Genesis, but the demo tracks. You know, the versions that appeared in the PC version of the game and the beta for Sonic 3, because they probably own the license to those. And, you know, honestly, that's not bad. They did say also in the video that announced this, that they are making a new version of the soundtrack, and a soundtrack that is more in tune with the Genesis. You know, pretty faithful Genesis sound chip. Because it's quite likely that the compositions of the songs by Michael Jackson are the ones that are owned by the estate, and not the remixes, well, not remixes, but not the rendition on the Genesis soundtrack, because otherwise why would they be making it sound like a Genesis game here? If they are using the original soundtrack and not the PC demo tracks, I'd much prefer if they did use the PC demo tracks, if they're not able to make the soundtrack and use the songs that Michael Jackson allegedly worked on. I mean, there's fan remixes out there, but it would be so pretty nifty to hear those tracks from the PC that sounded crap in my opinion, and probably most other people's opinions. Sound pretty good and more in tune with their Genesis counterparts. However, all this aside, it is still quite a letdown that we're not able to get the full Genesis Sonic 3 and Knuckles complete experience on modern hardware, even if it is just music, because these soundtracks mean a lot to everyone. The people who played it back in the day, and exposing it to the newer Sonic fans. Although, technically speaking, you could just look them up on YouTube and play them whilst playing the game. And I'm sure the PC version will get mods within a day, or possibly hours within releasing, that will have all the original Genesis tracks replacing the new remixed ones. Music swapping isn't that hard to do these days. What I want to know is whether this is all about Sega not wanting to pay the license fee, or whether it be the estate that owns the soundtrack, or those specific songs they can't use, being all uptight and not allowing it, or heck, even Sega just not wanting to associate themselves with that music anymore. However, I don't think the latter is the case, because Sega's released Sonic 3 and Knuckles sparsely in the past, but still, they have. I think it's on Steam still, and I definitely have a collection on my Xbox with Sonic 3 and Sonic and Knuckles on with their original soundtracks, even after so many years after Michael Jackson's, you know, death, or his allegations and all that stuff that you don't really want to dig into. It's seeming more like it's on his end of the deal. But then again, Sega's not the richest company in the world, so maybe Michael Jackson's songs he did, they charge a stupid amount of money for, which again, they can do. It's arsehole-ish of them, but what are you gonna do? Sega, you should probably just if possible, buy the rights to these songs back and just keep them so you can preserve this game more regularly. I mean, how many times have they released Sonic 1 in the past, I don't know, 5 years? And Sonic 2 as well, like, I think on the Switch alone you can play 3 different versions of Sonic 2 now. And that's just crazy. And now we're gonna get a 4th one? But that's a topic for a completely different day. Wait a minute, I've been using Sonic 3 music in the back of this video. Oh my god, no, 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 no! Anyway, what do you think about this news? Tell me in the comments down below.